Welcome fellow adventurers and dungeon masters to another episode of Pathfinder 2nd edition character concept for you, where I create level 1 characters as inspiration or free use for your games, either as player character or as NPC. My name is Model 42 and today we look at the dazzling entertainer, Dear Delightful, a human Aasimar divine sorcerer, an awesome support character for any group in need of help. The charming Dear has no class level, but as with all spellcasters, she will get other stats instead. She is not strong, a little bit agile because of her dancing and show, at least healthy, but quite smart and wise, with a dazzling beauty and persona that is sure to charm at least one of you, I think. She is amazingly talented in diplomatic skills and performing her arts, which is a mixture of spells and dancing, is quite good in arcana, theatre lore, dance lore, medicine and religion, with some decent skills in acrobatics, arcana, deception and intimidation, with the rest being so-so. As you can see, she is very useful on and off the stage so far. She speaks 3 languages, Common, Celestial because of her heritage, and Virisian since she grew up in that country. Her fragile body just leaves her with weak fortitude and the bare minimum in hit points. Her reflexes are not the best, but she is quite willful and headstrong with a decent perception, aided by low light vision. Not the best for combat, and it will not get that much better until we look at her spells, but then, believe me, she might blow you away. As mentioned before, her armor class is not good, but could be worse. She is not very proficient in those as a sorcerer, so that should not come as a surprise, and she will defend herself either with a dagger, hidden at the side of one of her thighs, or use those long legs for some good-looking, though not very powerful kicks. Still, better being cool and weak, than completely incompetent, am I right? When we look at her feats and abilities, we see that she doesn't get anything from her human side and at least low light vision from her Aasimar side. As her first ancestry feat we chose a lineage feat, because now or never, and went with Lawbringer, which is one of the best feats for a level 1 character, staying highly useful up to level 20. Why? Because she gets a +1 bonus against emotion effects and her successes therein are critical ones instead, which is simple amazing. As long as you succeed, fear spells and other effects will not be an issue, especially with that decent will save she has. Her skill feat as an entertainer is fascinating performance, but since it needed way more space we talk about that in a little while. She does not get a class feat, but as spellcaster she had to choose her bloodline, which is the angelic one, granting access to divine spells and also all her bloodline spells. BL on my character sheet. Grant her or another target creature a +1 bonus to all saving throws for 1 round, which is very good, especially since her bloodline cantrip is light, and so we can theoretically do this each and every round if we do not have anything better to do. The rest is pure spell casting, all things you will read on your own anyway, since game rules and stuff. Speaking of spellcaster spell rules and so on, we have the following action pack of cast a spell, sustain spell, and refocus, all used to do the stuff you need. At the moment we do not have any spells to sustain, so just use the rest, it's not that complicated. We now talk about fascinating performance, which is just an automated ability, neither being a free action or a reaction. Whenever you perform you choose one target in the crowd before rolling your dice. If your result beats the target's will DC, it is fascinated for 1 round. If this happens while something else is going on, combat for example, you need a critical success instead. On higher levels you can target more people, making this skill feat very good later on, but even now it can become very useful as a distraction. Shield block is just mentioned because of a spell she has. She cannot use this with other shields, since you need a feat for that. Do remember this. And for my next trick, a segue to spells. She is excellent in her spellcasting ability with a +7 attack modifier and a DC of 17, the highest for a level 1 character. Does not have to prepare her spells aside from cantrips of course, only casting what she wants with the spell slots available. Can only cast from the divine spell list and has 3 spell slots to use for level 1 spells. Her cantrips, as well as her focus spells, are level 1 right now, and she also has a maximum focus pool of 1, which she can use for her 1 focus spell. That one is called Angelic Halo, and might just be one of my favorite bloodline spells. for a single, verbal action. For the next minute, whenever an ally is healed 3 squares, or 15 feet, around you, they will be healed by that amount +2. You do not need to use spells for that. If they chuck one of their own health potions or have fast healing, they will gain this benefit, and it will increase by 2 each time it heightens to a new level, making this one quite useful throughout the game. I mean, healing an extra 20 hit points on level 19 and 20 is very good. Her cantrips are quite useful as well, and she can prepare 5 of them each day, though since we start with 5, that should not be an issue. She can cast Light, which is always useful and is a bloodline spell we can abuse every round to trigger a bonus. Pretty good. Daze is highly underrated as well, dealing solid 4 damage right now and on a critical fail taking away one of the enemy's actions because of stunned one is also nice. Divine Lance is a ghoul attack spell that either deals lawful or good damage and also deals 5 to 9 damage right now, with it being doubled on a crit. Awesome. Shield is the reason I wrote down shield block, but only this spell profits from that, which casts a magical shield on us that is raised with this one action spell, and has a hardness of 5. Sadly we can only cast this one every 10 minutes, but hey, better than to carry around a heavy shield while playing a weak little maiden, right? The last one is Stabilize, because we will need it at some point. Her level 1 spells are also quite useful and supportive. We have Heal, which is the most versatile and probably best spell in the game, which is also one of our bloodline spells. We have Magic Weapon, which we can use on an allies or unattended weapon and for 1 minute make it a +1 striking weapon, increasing the chance to hit by 1 and giving it another attack dice. Very good for a boss fight I'd argue. The last one is Sanctuary, which protects a target for 1 minute, or until it makes a hostile action, is way better than in first edition, where it quite frankly sucked. This time it is stunning, with each opponent attacking the target making a will save, that either ends the spell, just lets them attack normally, wastes their action and stops attacking the target for a turn, or simply wastes their action and they cannot attack the target for the duration of the spell. Very cool stuff. When it comes to our inventory, we carry around 1 bulk and 2 light of an easy and normal 5 or a maximum of 10. In your purse we find 13 copper pieces and 27 silver pieces. We carry a dagger around our thigh and have a beautiful fine costume dress that you can see on screen as well as the fitting jewelry, bought and paid for with 2 gold. Further items contain a backpack, a bedroll, a belt pouch, a mirror, a silver symbol of serenity as well as a religious text, a sheath for our dagger, 3 pieces of soap, a water skin, a writing set, purple and brown traveling clothes, a raincoat, a white winter coat, a pearl-colored fine dress with a tight frame showing off her marvelous figure, and a purple and simple nightgown. I mention this sometimes, having multiple clothes is a simple way of adding personality, as a cheap other items like a toy bear or broken spear. Now let's look at the part that is the most interesting to me, her personality, but beforehand, the last stats and facts about her. As usual, she is a human with the Aasimar versatile heritage, which is uncommon and needs the DM's permission, though in that case will not be that hard, and has the background, entertainer, traveling from town to town to marvel people with her spells and dances. She has the trace humanoid, and Aasimar is the sorcerer with the angelic bloodline, of medium size, and is lawful good, like the deity Serenry which she holds in high regard and tries to live in her spirit. She is a Taldan born in Magnima, which is one of the biggest cities in Virisha. She is a woman of 29 years, is quite tall with 1 meter and 79 centimeters, or 5 feet 9 inches, though this could be because of her heels, and weighs 58 kilograms, or 128 pounds, which is quite light for such a tall woman, though she is not very muscular, so it should be okay. It's fantasy anyway, which is why you can change my default of bisexual to anything else you like. She is your character, but I like minds to keep an open mind, unless I have a specific plan in mind. When it comes to her personality, I used my 10-point method, which I praise all the time, and chose 2 points from human, 2 from Aasimar, 2 from the sorcerer class, and added 4 of my own to create a character I am quite proud of. She strives for greatness in the name of Serenry, helping people wherever she can, bringing joy to them if she is able to, and cherishes her family and her friends very much, risking everything in her power to keep them safe from harm. Quite obviously she has a strong and graceful fashion sense and will naturally be very interested in it as well, and she should have a very close relationship with somebody, but that is one you need to decide for yourself. It might be a lover, a young sister, or maybe even one of the other player characters. If you want to start with an established bond, which could be quite a fun idea, since she is quite a successful entertainer. She has an independent streak, though will work well in a team as long as it is not on stage. She is fascinated by her lineage, heritage and bloodline and wants to learn more about what it means or where it comes from. But because of her heritage or her soul, she is exceptionally kind to children and the common folk on the streets, not acting like a diva, but a very caring woman instead. Despite this, she knows her image, and whenever she walks she strides with a wide and very womanly stride, showing everybody that she knows exactly how good she looks, and how to use it to get attention. If you think her quite brash because of that, she is the exact opposite, trying to resolve conflicts with kindness and charm, not detesting violence, but trying to only use it when absolutely necessary. Should you scare her, which can happen from time to time, since she is not the most perceptive one, she will scream like someone going over a chalkboard with nails. It will hurt you. So maybe try to avoid that on sneaky missions. Should be fun though if it happens, just saying. If you do not want to spend the time writing all that information down or copying from screen, just hop on over to my Facebook. The link is in the description or my banner. Send me a friendly hello and who you'd like as a PDF. That simple, costs nothing, and if you also add me as a friend, you can interact with me there and also see when new videos go live as well. There might be an easier way coming later, but for now, that has to do. Thank you for staying with me until the end, and if you like this video or the character, please leave a like. It is the easiest way to support me in literal seconds, and subscribe if you want more content and guides, maybe even leaving a comment what you think about her or how you would use her in your games. Until then, we see each other somewhere in Galarian, and stay safe my friends.